Are you thinking about buying your first home in this crazy market? If so, you'll need to know that while home ownership is wonderful, timing is important. Not just the market conditions, but where you are with your own personal finances. I'm Mary Jo West with Keller Williams Vestavia, and this video will give you facts to help you answer your own question, should I buy a house now? Maybe, maybe not. Let's find out together. As full-time realtors for almost 20 years, we have made a list of questions to give you the insight you need to answer your own question, am I ready to buy a house now? These are not areas that lenders automatically address. Their job is to see if you can get approved for a loan, but these questions go deeper because buying a house is a life event. Owning a home is a journey, and this video will help you know if you want to take the trip. Question number 1, are you better off renting? The pros of renting are, if you move a lot, renting is easier than owning. You really need to own a home for 3 to 5 years to break even on your investment in a normal market. Number 2, you call the landlord for repairs. Number 3, you have low upfront cost, usually 1 month's rent and a security deposit. Number 4, you don't pay any property taxes. The landlord does. The cons of renting are, you never build any equity or property appreciation in a hot market. Number 2, you have none of the tax deductions that homeowners have. And number 3, rents are at an all-time high and maybe as much as a house payment without any of the benefits of owning a home. And number 4, most rental agreements don't allow you to make any changes to the property, so you can't personalize it. Number 5, rents usually increase when you renew your lease. The principal and interest portion of your house payment stays the same throughout the life of the loan. Now for question number 2. Are you realistic about what you can afford? You may be able to afford what you need, but not what you want. There's a difference. And remember, this is your first home and will more than likely not be your last home. So focus on need, not wants. Do, however, prioritize major lifestyle features, school zones, neighborhood safety, amenities, and commute time. And a caveat. As you compromise, remember that a feature that you don't like about the house is probably the same feature that the next buyer will not like when you try to sell. Try to avoid funky floor plans, steep driveways, no backyard, house styles that are out of character with the neighborhood, and yes, just plain ugly houses. It's hard to fix ugly, and usually the only thing that helps ugly is to lower the price. Whatever you don't like, remember, the next buyer won't like either. Question number 3. Do you understand the unpredictable cost of home ownership? Even though your monthly payment of principal and interest will stay the same for the life of the loan, some expenses will likely increase each year depending on inflation, natural disasters, and neighborhood conditions. Some of these are property taxes, utilities, HOA fees, and lawn and property maintenance. Think of an aging home as needing health care, just like you do as you get older. If you own a house long enough, you will need to replace a roof, appliances, HVAC, and mature landscaping. Plan ahead. Question number 4. What is your real month-to-month financial situation? Do you have a budget for your ongoing monthly expenses? What house price do you think you can afford? What monthly payment do you think you can afford, including taxes and insurance? And is this amount more than 25% of your take-home check after taxes and insurance? Question number 5. What is your accumulated savings before buying? Do you have enough to pay 3.5% or up to 20% as a down payment? Do you have enough to pay another 3% in closing costs that are the unrecoverable cost of a financed purchase? Do you have enough to pay $1,500 to spend on a home inspection, a survey, an appraisal, a sewer or septic inspection. These are the unrecoverable expenses to just find out the real condition of the house and property you want to buy. These expenses sound like a lot, but they will help you avoid a disastrous purchase. Do you have enough to write an earnest money check for 1% of the price of the home, even though you will recover your earnest money at the closing table? The 1% earnest money check, however, will be cashed and deposited in an escrow account until you close, so you have to be able to front that expense up front. And question number 6. What is your savings now after subtracting all those hard-earned savings in the above question? Do you have savings to cover 3 to 6 months of living expenses? Life happens when you least expect it. There is an age-old adage called the 3 Ds, naming the 3 life events that cause homeowners to have to sell: debt, divorce, and death. You rarely see them coming, and they can wreak havoc on your life and your finances and your emotions. You need a safety net, always. Question number 7. What is your credit score? This is really a lender question. Do you know that the lower your credit score, the higher your interest rate will be? You need a good lender to guide you through the credit score interest rate game and help you with credit repair if needed. Do you pay your bills on time to avoid debt? Lenders tell us that one of the best ways to increase your credit score is to keep each of your credit cards below 30% of the credit limit on that card, and don't ever pay off one card and neglect the other cards. Don't close out credit cards even when you get them to a zero balance. We are not trying to scare you away from buying your first home. We are hoping to help you make an informed decision. Hopefully this video helped you know what questions to ask yourself to see if you're ready to buy now. If you arrived at a thumbs up maybe, then there are 2 professionals that you need to make this journey with you. You need a good lender who answers your phone calls and answers your questions patiently, knowing that this is your first time on this path. We know several that we can recommend. And you need a good, experienced realtor who knows your local market and who truly enjoys working with first-time buyers. I can honestly say that I treat every buyer the same, no matter how much money they have. But I do throw in a little extra patience for first-time buyers because I am a teacher at heart, and I consider it a special honor to help someone find their very first place to call home. I'll guide you with the best of my 20 years of experience in real estate and promise that I'll be with you every step of the way.